welcome to the Black Ribbon Warrior podcast. This is episode 29.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Lee, and I'm joined by my lovely bride, honey, darling, and dear.
Hey, babe.
Hello. You, my dear, are feeling a little bit under the weather.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to kind of keep our distance so I don't get whatever it is you got. Which it sounds like it's more congestion and stuff because we do live in the South. Pollen is high and it's hot as the inside of Satan's underwear.
Yeah, it's hot.
And
I'm allergic to everything outside, so it doesn't make it easy.
Yep, and so she's been trying to stay inside, which isn't hard, but it gets hard because she wants to go out and do things, and yeah, it's a mess. But so, how was your week last week?
It was fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. So we did try on this, kind of not really on topic, but we did try to make. There's a favorite pizza place back home that we get every time we go.
Yeah.
And my cousin who lives in Georgia told me her copycat version. And even though it wasn't exact, because I couldn't find the exact pre-made crust, I made two pizzas. I made one a keto version, and I made one with a pre-made pizza crust.
Right.
Now, was the sauce pretty close?
I think I needed to put more sauce on it.
Okay, so
I don't feel like I had enough sauce.
Okay.
To taste a big difference. And then I thought I had enough cheese, because I was all icky and the kids are icky, and I didn't put as much cheese as you put on.
Oh yeah, I loaded mine up.
And then I think if I would have made it with more sauce and more cheese,
okay,
been on to something maybe.
Okay, well that's good.
Yeah, I just went really sparse.
Yep, and so I've got. I mean, I bought you an extra one, so you got that, but. It wasn't exact. It didn't really remind me of it, but because my version had the crust, I think it's called a fathead dough. It was cream cheese, mozzarella, and then you added in almond flour, but the almond flour didn't mix in, so it was more like the you know how sometimes you put that cornmeal on the bottom of the peel and slide it in? It was more like that. But the dough worked. I mean, I would have liked...
Make it again?
Yes, and I will. So the premise is you take a cup of mozzarella cheese shredded, and then you... add in half a block of cream cheese and then another cup of mozzarella. You melt that in the microwave and then you mix it up. And you keep, you nuke it for like a minute, mix it up, nuke it again, mix it up until it's all incorporated. And it does make a dough. It was actually...
Yeah, it looked like a dough when you were playing with it.
And it's spread out just like a dough. So then you bake it. And I didn't bake it long enough to get it so it would be crispy. So I need to play around with that. But anyway, hey, it is what it is. A beautiful experiment. But so that is a good pizza alternative.
Yeah. I'm fine with just putting everything in a bowl and heating it and melting it and being happy.
Yeah, and...
I don't know if you caught it when we were visiting my sister. She's like, we were the perfect people eaters, her and I. Because she wanted all the crust and I wanted all the toppings growing up.
Yeah, normally that's what we do, is we do what they call the pizza bowls, and it's just everything in a bowl.
Are you okay over there?
No, there. I'm trying to get the mic
Well,
set
you
right.
keep, like, messing, and then you're...
Yeah,
Stop
I know.
messing.
It's been one of those
Just
days.
stop messing.
It's been one of those days. But yeah, normally we do that where we just put all the... What we was doing the meatballs in the bottom of a pan or tray, whatever you want to call it, and then building the pizza on top of that, and then cooking it, and that is wonderful.
Yeah, it's just like a little casserole, so it's...
Yeah, like kind of like a...
I mean, it's fine.
A meatball pizza casserole thing, but it's really good. Anyway, so let's get into the topic for today.
Yeah, you asked me, and I'm sorry. My brain is tired. My body's tired.
Yep.
I couldn't come up with any kind of thing, so I have not a clue what we're talking about today.
And really, I don't either.
Okay.
But
I think last week we were just really quiet overall.
yeah, I mean, it was kind of like that come down. The only thing I had going on was some errands. And for the record, the brake light did not get changed, for the simple fact that the kids had the car gone majority of the time that I was awake.
Right.
So
it's still on the list for this week.
It is. I did not forget.
Do we have the bulb?
I think I have one because I know I changed the one brake light before.
Okay.
So I think it's...
Oh, the car will be here at 6. Not that
So,
it means anything to you, but it'll be here. Well, it's already past 6. It should be coming home soon.
Yeah, babe, it's 7 o'clock.
It should be coming home
so
soon.
Anyway, so I know the last few weeks we've talked about us living.
Yeah.
That's...
We talked about us living, and then like the last week we were like slugs laying on the couch.
Yeah, but that's what happens.
Yeah.
We're trying to live each day, maybe not to the fullest, but to no regrets.
Do it that way.
To no regrets. One of the... We were talking last night about the drive-in and stuff, and I still have a hard time when it's raining at night, especially at nighttime raining.
Well, if it's sprinkling, you're okay.
Yes.
If it's raining, you're okay. If it's the if it's like that blackout, or whiteout rain where it's just...
If it's downpouring, yeah.
Then you can't.
Right.
And if it's that kind of rain and it makes it hard to see.
If the headlights have to be on, it's rough.
You're supposed to have your headlights on whenever it rains.
I know, but when you're
relying on those headlights, yeah.
Well, yeah, that kind of downpour, yeah, no.
That kind of hazy outside look.
But I'm still able to drive across town in short distances and not too bad.
Even.
But at nighttime or raining, nighttime I can do as long as it's not a lot of traffic. But aside from that, that's kind of the, dare I say, I lost the word. Well, the brain fog is still there. The brain skipping.
Your big issues, driving's still one.
Yeah.
Your multitasking.
Side effects is the word.
Yes. Again, it kind of goes back to you're doing more.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like you're doing better.
Yeah.
Because your physical body is able to stay awake all day. It doesn't need a nap every day anymore.
That is true.
Your physical body is able to be more active.
Mm-hmm.
But your brain is still lagging behind. I mean, it still gets really overly tired.
Yeah.
And those effects are still there. And so it's one of those odd things where your body is doing everything that you're trying to do. You know, you're really trying to recondition and to build up.
Yep.
And to do more with your physical body. It's just the brain is saying, dude, I'm not there. And so it looks more dramatic in some ways, because visually you look fine.
And the topic of depression came up last night.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I've been open about it. That is something I've dealt with for decades, as far back as I can remember. But I notice it more differently now out of treatment. And I guess I hadn't put it all together until last night when we were talking about it at group. And what do I mean by that? Well, you know, they were talking about, you know, when you have the depression, you're usually coming down on yourself, or, you know, you think the world's against you, or, you know, the voices in your head, all that stuff, right? The depression that I'm having now, it's more the body's, you just get this feeling of your body's giving you the finger. It's nothing about how what you say to me. It's not about how I interpret what the kids are doing to me or around me. It's not any outside influences on me. It's just, I don't want to say a conflict between me and the body, but it's more, you just feel low. Mm-hmm. And there's no, it's so hard. There's no rhyme or reason. And it comes on just like, you know, a snap. And like I was out today and this extreme sadness just came over me. Why? I don't know. I got everything on the grocery list. I didn't deviate. And I mean, I spent just what we figured I would, going to get just what we needed. So it wasn't.
You need to cuddle?
No, I'm not a cuddler.
Maybe that'll make you happy. Maybe your new brain wants to cuddle. But
you know, moments like that just come over me, and they'll last a little bit, and then they go away. And I don't know what that is. And you know, before, when the depression would hit, you know, I'd wake up and I'd be like, screw this, we're not doing this today. And I'd be in a bad mood all day long, and it would fuel either over intoxicating or overeating. And now I still get to where I'm snacky and I want to eat, especially late at night when I would do most of my self-destruction. Now I'm like, oh, if I'm downstairs around this, I gotta eat. And even though I'm not hungry, but, you know, that's kind of a coping mechanism. And I don't know how to explain it, but the depression's different. Like it's not like it was prior where I would try to make myself feel bad. This is just,
it just hits you, and
you feel bad, even though mentally you're like, dude, suck it up and go. But your body's just like, yeah, no, we're not doing it.
Well, you know.
And then there are the days where mentally you're like, you know, F this, I'm not doing it, I'm going back to bed. And then I get up from a nap and I'm good.
Well, it's funny, like, not funny, haha. Kind of funny, haha. Bringing a little light into the discussion. I'm older than you, and
Yes.
there were times that I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't sleep. I'm waking up all the time. I'm waking up sweating. This is disgusting. This is horrible. This sucks. And you were like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't know. And then after your brain surgery, you were like, honey, I'm sitting in this chair and I'm hot and I'm sweating and then I'm cold and then I'm hot and then I'm cold. I'm like, welcome to premenopausal. Or perimenopausal. And you laughed. You said, honey, if this is what you feel like, this sucks and I'm sorry. So all I have for you on this new depression, hormones suck, babe.
Well, and I don't want to say it's new, but I want to say
this new way of feeling.
I want to say it's more that I've recognized it,
right.
How it's changed.
But I just want to go like, hormones suck, because this is how I am.
Because
one day everything's great and happy, and then for no reason you're like, what is wrong? I'm like, I don't know what's wrong, but everything just feels ick.
Yep.
And you're like, oh, that's how it feels
and
for me.
Part of what happens is like today. I was just tired for no reason. Mm-hmm. I mean, I got up, I was out doing errands, everything was good. I came home and I made a cup of coffee and I was just wiped out, and I was like, what is going on? Well, with you guys, not feeling good, something could be in the air and it's hitting me differently.
It likely is.
But I was just like, okay. But that wasn't depression related. That was just the conversation came up last night, and it was kind of interesting how, the seed was planted, and then I slept on it, and I really hadn't thought about it again until now. Maybe once, but how much that has changed. Because through this whole process, I didn't ask, why me?
No.
I didn't get upset or...
I did.
Well, I know, but I didn't get upset or think, why me? Whatever. That never crossed my mind. For me, it was just like, okay, well, what's going to happen next? And it was pretty much like that because I was a zombie. Yeah. And even now, I look at it as, yes, they had my skull open and was actually working on my brain. We've talked about that. But the treatments and stuff, everything worked great, and I think it's part of the reason was so I could share. Mm-hmm. And I think that when bad things happen to people, it's how they deal with them. It doesn't matter who you are, what you've done, or anything like that. It is what you do with that. So they were talking about, a lady was talking last night about one of her high school friends had passed away, and this high school friend had achieved so much in her life. But she got cancer and shut herself in. Didn't tell nobody about it except for immediate family.
Well, we don't know if she shut herself in. We know that she didn't share the diagnosis according to what we've been told.
Yeah, so the information we were told was she didn't share it with anybody.
She kept it very close.
And so she ended up, passing away, and they kept everything, to the family, which that's completely okay. The thing that I was thinking that ran through my mind was she accomplished so much in life when faced with this huge obstacle.
How does she deal with it?
How does she deal with it?
Yeah.
Because you can be an advocate for whatever, and then when you get punched in the mouth, what do you do?
You know what? I think
I forget that saying. What is it? You get punched in the mouth, and then what?
I don't know the saying, so I can't help you. I'm just thinking like advocacy. It's easy to stand up for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's really easy to support causes that are important, or to you would stand up for me if somebody was talking bad about me. They could say all the things that are true, but if somebody was bad mouthing me in a way that you felt was disrespectful, you would stand up for me.
Yeah, because I'm the only one that can badmouth you.
Right? But, and that's the point. Like, when it comes to you, can you stand up for yourself? Do we shut down that talk that we say to ourselves? So it's the same thing with advocacy. You and I can do, it'd be one thing if we did the podcast because this happened to a loved one. And the whole time we were doing this, we were silent that you were going through cancer.
Right.
You know, because that makes you vulnerable. So the minute you talk about your struggle with it, or my struggle with it, and that can be anything, whether it's cancer or life or depression or anything.
Well, I think...
And you're vulnerable. I mean, hell, it took me, like, to buy an outfit for the one graduation. Our child had to ask somebody for help because I don't know how to do that. Like, I'm like, I don't know what to put on. I don't know. Just admitting to myself that I wasn't sure how to put an outfit together. It's such a simple thing.
Yeah. Because
I live in sweatpants and t-shirts. It was a little vulnerable. Well, and it made me a little uncomfortable. So, and that was just picking out clothing. So now let's share something that's really internal and really messing with you. That's hard to do for some people.
Because if you're getting all these accolades and achieving all these whatevers in life, and then you get, cancer's very humbling. Very. And I could see how there's no accolade for beating it other than life.
Right.
You can't... You can hang life on the wall by pictures, but there's no documentation or, if you put that on your job resume,
on the other side of this, and I don't know if you followed this, I'm on TikTok because I don't like anything you watch. So when you watch TV, I have to entertain myself. And sometimes I don't want to read because I just don't have the focus. So something I can flip through, like TikTok, is enjoyable.
Right.
And I came across this family a while ago.
Are you watching Smoking Bears? Smoking _bears_? Just saying.
When it comes on, sometimes I am wearing a t-shirt. But there's this family, a husband and wife, and they have a little boy. The wife had ovarian cancer, I believe. She just lost her fight. But he took to documenting, from what I understand, and I do not follow anybody really on TikTok. It's a very rare thing, but if something interests me, I will sometimes go and read about it and whatever. But from what I understand, this woman fought this for 8 years, and it was well beyond the length of time they thought she should have had. And I'm gonna show it to you, because it's not the same type of cancer by any means. However, the way she dealt with this was truly inspiring. Like, they have a young son, I think he's 5, and they had to explain to him that his mom was dying, and it was visible that she was gonna die. They just didn't know when.
Right.
And she talked to him about heaven and why she has to die, and her health and her hopes and her dreams, and the husband documented this all, and it became such a a viral thing on TikTok. Like people like you and I who didn't know this couple were like, hey, has anybody seen a video? I haven't seen one for 2 days. And people became enmeshed with this life. So this is our way of sharing what this feels like.
Yeah.
And that was their way of sharing what it feels like, and I just put it out there that I'm in awe of how they've handled it, because yes, we're a similar but very different situation. They're young, like 30s. And they, both of them, the husband and the wife and the little boy, they handled it with such grace.
Yeah.
But I'll show it to you. But the advocacy and the power and the strength was inspiring. And I hope that, like I said, we're not in this situation, but that's the thing. They're talking about it their way. We're talking about it our way. And that's our power and our hope and our strength and our humor. And
yeah, and
that's just the difference. I couldn't imagine doing this silent.
And you get asked, how do you do it? And the response is always, what other choice did I have?
Mm-hmm.
You don't know how strong you are until you have to be.
Yeah.
And the way that that sounds similar to us is, no matter how bad I felt, and I told you I felt bad, quitting was not an option.
No.
And I would push myself, and you tell me stop, and I'm like, out the way, woman. And then I'd feel bad for 2 days, but it was that kind of learning your own boundaries. But I wasn't wanting to roll over and let this go.
Right, like we tried really hard not to shut ourselves in.
Yes.
We did things. We went out, and could we have been afraid of all the germs? Yes. I mean, in the beginning, like when you were healing, especially from the brain surgery,
and because
I was really careful because it was also COVID-y to be like,
yep, C-19 was still very much.
If you're sick, please don't come here.
Yep.
But once we got you healed up and we got you a little stronger, we went out. We went to the grocery. We didn't go out for long.
No, that was a good thing, because you could go to the grocery, and then I could get a cart and I could walk.
Mm-hmm.
Now I would hit damn near everything on the floor, like any shelves.
Like you do a child.
Yes, so like shelving, I would hit that. Any like pile-ups or whatever in the middle of the main aisles, yeah. Chances are I'd hit those too.
Well, for a while your vision was impaired. Like, not impaired like you couldn't see, but you couldn't see correctly. I mean, I remember your challenge every morning was to pour a cup of coffee. You wanted to come down, you wanted to pour coffee, and
depth perception was.
I'm like, please stop pouring the coffee. And you're like, honey, but I want to pour. I'm like, please just stop. He missed the coffee cup, almost like he'd either overshoot or he'd run right down the side of the cup and he'd make a mess. And I was like, he's going to burn himself. This isn't going to be good. The mess he made. But I'm like, pour the coffee. Just whatever. It became not even worth the fight to try to get to his coffee before he did. You almost always recognize that you missed the cup.
Yeah,
but
and
you didn't know how.
We kept towels close
lots of
by.
Towels handy. Lots of towels are coffee stained. But that was just, we tried everything to get you back on track.
Yeah.
Well, I don't believe, I baby you sometimes. But I also believe in hard work.
In all that, like even at the, I don't remember of course, there's a lot I don't remember, but I don't remember my depression ramping up like it had prior to radiation.
No, I think
there's days where you have bad days. I'm not gonna lie, you do have bad days, but they're not as emotional outside influenced, like outside my body influenced as they were.
Yeah, I think.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it's hard to explain depression. It's not just you feel bad or you feel low, but it's.
You know, I typically don't deal with depression. You know that. Like,
right.
There are times that I get anxious, and I've been more anxious in the last 4 years than I've ever been in our marriage.
The closest you came was postpartum after the youngest.
Yeah.
And your dad passing away a week later.
Right. Like.
So that was the closest
those are some situational things.
That was the closest you've came to what I was dealing with on a daily.
Right.
So you didn't really understand, like, oh shit, this is a daily thing for you.
Well, I understood, but I hadn't felt it for me. I could see it in you. But I couldn't feel it.
Yeah, until you're going through it, you don't fully understand it.
No, but I could see how it changed you.
Yeah.
Okay, so on the other side, I do see it. But I think in this, I don't think I got depressed necessarily. Not depressed at like the outside world. I got resentful and angry, and that could fuel a little bit of depression. And I still get that way in the sense of there are times I'm like, well, this is it. This is the rest of our lives. And then I have to stop myself and be like, yeah, you're right, stupid. This is the rest of your life. Like, what you gonna do with it? And
that's exactly what this is. Yeah. Where I was kind of going with our lady friend who had her friend. What do you do with the time you have left? I feel like I was given not a pass.
You were given another shot.
Almost another shot to say, now's your time to do something with, you could have went back to the old job, and
no, you couldn't have.
Not really. I couldn't. The multitasking is not there. I have trouble. I have trouble cooking and talking. And Sunday we did a show Sunday, and I was trying to say something, and then we did sloppy joes on the griddle, and I was mixing up the sloppy joe and completely lost track of what I was saying. And you could hear crickets, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm still talking, hold on. Like, I have multitasking issues with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like that you still struggle with, and that's just the brain healing, and this could be the best it ever gets. We don't know, and honestly, if this is the best it gets, it's okay.
But I could have chose to become a hermit and just live in the house and not do anything, and get off my lawn, and
I will say we are more hermity than we've ever been.
Well,
aside from, just don't feel the need.
Yeah, aside from cancer, if you look at what we were doing before, we would go out and run because we didn't have the time through the week.
Right.
And because of my schedule, I was working seconds and thirds and all other
working days, so.
All other kind of shifts, and you were working days, so we were on opposite shifts, and so we would run on the weekends to try to get that quality time in.
Well, and just to get things done that we didn't want to do by ourselves.
And if we were at the house, we knew we wouldn't get anything done. We wouldn't have that quality time because you would do your thing, I would do my thing, we would do nothing. And so now, the good Lord's let me stay home, and because I'm kind of woo, but that you're working, and we have that time in the evenings to say, you know what, let's go to dinner. So instead of a Saturday or Sunday dinner that we would plan on, now we can do it on a Tuesday.
But, you know, I think it also made us just really, really appreciate what is important to us. And it is another running. It is being together and doing things that we want to do, and making sure that that is number one.
Yep.
You know, what we want to do, what we want to, memories we want to have with the kids, conversations we want to have together, conversations we want to have with the kids. And if that means we're just sitting on the couch watching stupid TV, it's still sitting on the couch watching stupid TV.
Yep.
You know, it's not a mad rush to get everything done in the 2 hours that we have together.
If things go south tomorrow, then the image of us sitting together in the same room, watching stupid TV, naked and afraid, hoarders.
That's what I was thinking.
Hoarders. You know, that's going to bring a smile.
Yeah, you know, I was thinking we don't sit together on the couch often.
No.
But like in my sister's, you sat in that little chase lounge. I enjoyed like just laying there. You were sitting playing on something, and I was sitting like at the foot of it with you. And I had my head on your lap, and it was very nice. It was very comforting to me. So you might need to move your ass over to the couch every once in a while.
I hear you.
Or move your chair closer so I can just...
I hear you.
You know I am cuddly sometimes.
But I will say, we went to the local auction. Well, I don't go. So my buddy Rusty and I go Saturdays. And Cub, this is the first time she's been able to go in quite some time. Because she's, changed jobs, and she was like, hey, I'm off. Are we going? And I was like, well, yeah, sure. So she went. And
she's wild.
She's got her own number.
These children are wild.
She's got her own number. She's got her own account, whatever. And we had fun. She bought a lot of stuff. Her birthday's coming up next weekend.
It is.
And she's planning on going away to visit a friend in college.
I know.
Celebrate her birthday.
Before. I mean, it's a group of kids going.
So she's like, I'm getting snacks. So she bought a lot of stuff, but she had a blast.
Yeah.
Like, she had an absolute blast. And that's the kind of stuff that I look at and I chalk up to a dad win.
Right.
Because the littlest things made her smile. She got this box. It's a 40-piece set. I don't even understand this. It's a 40-piece set of
plastics like cutlery.
Yeah.
And plates and
settings. It's 4 different colors, and they're all like Easter egg colors.
They are.
Like pastel-y colors. And there's plates, saucers, bowls, and then the silverware all in the colors to match. There's like 4 of each, I think.
Something.
But anyway, she was so excited over this, and why? I don't know.
We don't know.
Really,
I
don't know.
Gosh, we have plates.
Yeah, we have plenty. And she's like, well, the last ones I bought are out in the garage that you guys use for the show. I was like, well, that's because there's no room in the kitchen for them.
Yeah.
So you can always walk out to the garage and get one because they're in the cupboard in the garage. No. So she got these.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy, but she was so excited. And she absolutely had a lot of fun. And, and to me, it was kind of that image of where the guy's taking the little kid fishing, and he's like, they think we're just fishing.
Mm-hmm.
It met those little moments, and I gotta say this because this stupid book. One of the people at group had mentioned this book called 1,000 Gifts. I might have talked about it before, but it is a slow read for me.
It's like 80 pages, and it took him.
No, it's longer than that.
Well, I'm just.
Yeah, it's a small book, but it's
a very thin book. But it did take you forever.
I want to say it was a Pennsylvanian Mennonite that wrote it. Well, but this lady, the whole premise of the book was looking at your day to day and seeing the little gifts that God's given you. You know, like she mentioned about her, you know, her kid running in because he fell and has got a big scratch. Thank goodness he can cry.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a gift. Being able to, you know, get them to stop crying and to get them to smile is a gift.
Today, one of my favorite gifts are my fuzzy socks because my feet are cold and I don't feel good.
But so I keep thinking about this book, and it's one of those that took me forever to read. But I notice what it did is it's made me notice all these little things that, you know, are trivial or mean nothing to anybody else. 2.5 years ago, it wouldn't have mattered nothing. I was busy. I got things to do.
Well, you know, I'm just going to piggyback on this for you a minute. One of those changes I saw in you is now when the kids are like, come on, Dad, I want to go shopping. You don't roll your eyes. And you're not like, oh my gosh. Like, you were like, all right. And you sit and you let them try on the clothes, and you're not impatient with them. And, you know, when they want to show you something or they want your opinion as far as a color or this, or do you like this shirt, Dad, or do you like these pants? Yes, you'll say, where's the rest of the shirt? That shirt needs to be about 8 inches longer.
And one thing that's always been hard for me,
you're accepting and you're wanting to do that with them.
Mm-hmm. One thing that's always been hard for me is telling somebody they look nice.
Mm-hmm. You rarely do it.
They're always like, "How's this look?" I'm like, "Yeah, it looks good, okay." But to just say, "Hey, I like what you did," and I've done it a few times, not many.
No.
Partly because I didn't grow up with that, and so paying those kind of compliments are hard.
Yeah.
You know, self-image is a hard thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I was 3 1/4 when we met.
Yeah, easy.
You know, so self-image was always a tough thing. So I don't know. That's one of the things that I find.
In 23 years, this was the first time you really said, "I like your hair, like that. I like that color."
Yep.
And the kids stopped.
And I'm trying.
They were like, "Did he just say he liked it?"
Yep. And I'm trying to do more of that.
Mm-hmm.
But those are just some of the little things we're trying. You know that mean a lot.
They do. They do, because, you know, it's the same. Like, they tell you all the time, "Oh, Dad, you're so cute."
Yeah, and I usually respond with,
"You look like this," and
yeah.
You don't even have to do anything. Can I just say that kind of pisses me off some? You can look like this.
Well, I think it's because they want money.
When I look like this, they're like, "Why do you look like that?"
I think it's because they want money.
"Oh, Dad, you're so handsome."
And then it's usually followed up with, "Hey, we would like this," or, you know, or they're just trying to.
Why do you look like that?
Yeah, they're just trying to butter me up because they know.
And the funny thing is, I'm the one that gives them the money.
Yeah.
You don't.
They're trying to get the okay from me to give them money.
I rarely ask you. I don't know what game they're playing.
I don't know.
I don't know. There's
that, or they're doing something crappy and they know that I know. Without me,
or they know I'm going to be really pissed and they're trying to get you on their side.
Yep.
That could be.
Because it's amazing that they'll do something and I can finish what their thought is or what their plan is without knowing, and they're going, how do you know this? I'm like, I was a rowdy teenager once.
And I was the good one.
Yep.
I was the very good one.
Which, kind of ties back to the whole, why me thing. I mean, I didn't get to that point in this journey.
No.
But there was a Pay and I were talking, and she was talking about I forget how it went, but no rest for the wicked.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she said I'm tired as hell. And I said, but Pay, there's no rest for the wicked. And she looked at me and she goes, then how are you still awake?
But when all of this went down, and I remember you texting your cousins and letting them know what was going on. And your one cousin said, of all the stupid shit you've done, this?
Yeah.
Like, you lived through all of this stupid shit.
Yep.
And something that you have no control over, oh, yeah, you're going to be fine.
Yep.
Don't even.
Because I laughed, and I was like, yeah, no kidding, right? And he's like, yeah, this is going to be nothing. This is just a chapter. So. But
yeah,
I'm kind of reminiscing on that, and my insides are smiling because I'm sure my guardian angel's like, oh dear Lord.
And my guardian angel
I'm probably
is
on,
like, girl, you really didn't deserve this crap.
I'm probably on my second or third one by now.
You've caused mine to retire, I'm sure.
I'm sure the first one is still in AA, and but so I don't know.
I think this week might be another quiet week. I mean, we have a lot going on soon.
Yep.
Maybe that's it. The kids are going to start college soon. We have a few weeks with them both home again, or yet. And then a whole new chapter opens up for them because every year is a new chapter.
Every week's a new chapter with these two.
Right?
Well, same with us.
Yeah. And so when that happens, I'm sure we're going to be we might be a little busier, just because, well, it won't be so hot.
Yeah, yesterday was a heat index of like 105. So there wasn't much to do out, like going outside. Yeah, no. Today was in the low 90s. Not as humid, but it's still hot.
Yeah.
Just like oven hot.
Once we get them in school, it's going to be a little bit more relaxed. Right now, we're trying to make sure we still get all those memories and those times with the kids. And, once they're in school, we kind of let them do their school.
Yep.
We leave them alone a little bit. I want to get back out on my kayak really bad. I just need to feel better.
You were supposed to go tubing.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I thought we were going this week, and now when I look back and thinking about everything, she wanted to go the week we were in Ohio, and I'm like, oh, we'll still be in Ohio. What about the next week? And she said, oh, I'm picking my daughter up from camp. What about the next week? And that's this weekend.
Okay. So possibly this weekend.
Possibly this weekend. It's supposed to rain Saturday, so it could be a Sunday event. But I want to get my kayak back out. I just want to go sit in the water. I just need to feel better. I think that's a big thing for me. Making sure I feel good. I don't like feeling like this, and I don't like to. It's just
congestion.
But
I did hear.
Me out.
I've heard of 3 people who've tested positive for the old C19.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was listening to another podcast, and this guy's in Seattle, Washington, Oregon, and anyway, somewhere over there, and he had it last week. So I don't know if that's a resurgence coming around. I don't know. Just something to, but you know.
I feel like I was like this about 6 weeks ago. It was just really icky feeling, you know, and it took me forever to shake.
And you really never got rid of it.
No, I got feeling a lot better though. I mean, even the end of last week was rough, and then the weekend I was feeling better. I wasn't doing very much, but I wasn't coughing, and then it all started again, you know, yesterday. So we'll hope that I'll feel better, because I do like to get out of the house. I was like, gosh, I didn't even leave my house this weekend. And that's not like me.
Yeah.
Typically I go somewhere. I didn't even leave the house. So my goal is to leave the house this week. I know a couple times
we have
bingo. Have music bingo places.
Well, we have plans. We have plans Wednesday evening.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to, with the church group, a couple members of the church group, to help fill backpacks.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun. That'll be a good time. I don't know, it'd be like comedy club good time, but
I don't know. I haven't done that. So we'll do that, and then I'm gonna float. My butt's gonna be in some water at some point this weekend. I just gotta figure out where and how and with who and all of that detail, because you know it is our kid's birthday, but she's leaving us. So we should celebrate.
She's hit that age, and I get it.
I know. But we probably need to have her a cake or a pie or something before she goes.
Yeah. Yeah,
or maybe I could call her friend and order a cake for them. That might surprise her.
Maybe.
Maybe that's the secret.
Yeah.
To be like, hey, if I Venmo you some cash, will you go pick out a birthday cake?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll work it. We'll look into it.
Yeah. But yeah, she has reached that age. They don't need me.
And you know, a couple years ago, through these treatments and through this journey, she's grown a lot as an individual.
Yeah, she has.
And she learned how to drive because I took her out.
Yeah.
I mean, I was kind of like most of the time, but
you were better than that, please. I wouldn't let you take her out like that. If you were,
my anxiety wasn't high because it was. I mean, I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Well, you wanted to go somewhere, and I had to work, so your option was either you don't go or you have a kid drive you. So you taught her to drive. And
it was kind of one of those that, you know, if the kids are not going to, or whatever, cancer didn't take me out, then I don't think a kid's going to.
Well, and I mean,
even though I think I'd rather have a kid take me out.
She was also likely more careful because you had B cancer. Like, how bad would she have been?
Yeah, I know, right?
You know?
Yeah.
But she was cautious with you.
She's a cautious driver to begin with, so that was good. But she's grown up a lot, and she's going to do some good things coming up.
She does. She has real good things coming up. So we'll see. We'll see what happens for her this year. You know, school's always been challenging. So
one of the other things that came up last night that kind of just hit me. You know, they were talking about anxiety and how that hits your depression, and those are, they can lead to each other, but they're different. I've noticed I get more anxiety now than I did before. I used to go through spells where I would start to get down on myself, and then my anxiety would peak because of that. Like, I'd be at the grocery store and I would get to the point where I would just start like almost shaking, and I just have to leave because I thought I was spending too much. And I might only would have spent $20 or $30, but in my mind I was like, oh no. But now the anxiety is over driving. Like I don't get it over scans. Going in for scans, I start to get anxiety.
I think around people, around our close friends, you're cool. Around people that maybe you're not as close with, you can get a little more anxious. Not bad, but just a little more like, oh, I don't know.
Yeah, kind of more uneasy.
Yeah.
But as far as the anxiousness, I notice it a lot when I'm driving, but on the so that's been a different thing. There's times where like I was walking through the grocery today and I got dog food and I started, and it wasn't like brown paper bag breathing type. I need to do that. It was just like, okay, and I got the small bag. But
means you're gonna go through this again the next time.
Yeah, but I'd gotten a couple other things, that weren't on the list, but that were on the list. So, but nothing astronomical, and it was just like, oh man, okay, cool. I sat in the car, I turned the air conditioning on, and I drank a Coke Zero, and it was all good.
I don't know, babe.
But that's is just some of the emotional stuff that I've noticed have changed.
Maybe you should try breathing your colors. So it's
Now I know we had some smoke come in from Canada that made
listen.
its way to the.
So it's the idea that you breathe in what you need, right? So if you need calming, you like shut your eyes and you imagine that you're breathing in like blue. Blue is a calming color. So breathe in the blue and blow out the red, blow out the yellow, blow out the orange, the more harsh colors. And it gives your body something to focus on rather than focusing on your anxiety. You should really ask our youngest one about breathing in her colors.
I think I've heard that before, but I don't know where.
Probably because I would tell her to breathe in her colors.
That could be it.
But like if you were feeling really angry, you could breathe in like green. I think it was like a happier color. And breathe in the green and blow out the yellow or the red, the angry.
Which is interesting because green is associated with envy, unless it's M&Ms, and then those are aphrodisiac.
Well, green's my favorite color. So
So
you should always be breathing in the green because it's my favorite color.
So I don't know.
But yeah, there's just something about like trying to visualize something that makes you happy. It's the same as for you, cast iron.
Oh yeah, Happy Gilmore used to do that.
Breathe in the happy thing and imagine blowing out all the negativity.
In the movie Happy Gilmore, he would whenever he would get riled up, he would visualize a waitress coming by with 2 pitchers of beer, and then the little midget was riding a tricycle. And, that was funny, and that's what relaxed him. And then at the end, his coach, who lost his hand to an alligator, was there, and he's like, hey, look. And instead of having the wooden hand, he had a real hand.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember having Gilmore like that, but I didn't watch it that much, not
Yeah.
as much as you did.
It was towards the end there, but
maybe try that when you're getting anxious.
actually the waitress was his girlfriend from Billy Madison.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah.
All right.
But I guess those just some of the thoughts I had from the weekend. A lot of blessings happened in the last 2 weeks. continued into this week, and I don't know. Got the family doctor appointment tomorrow, so diabetes checkup.
Yeah.
She's going to get on me because I haven't had my eyes checked.
She is. Yeah, I remember last year when she got on you about your eyes. Or the year before, maybe.
Yeah.
And
so,
I said, you know what? I said, right now we're dealing with 100 other things. The eyes are the least of my concern. We're not doing it right now. And she goes, okay.
Yep. And my last appointment was 3 months ago or 6 months ago. I can't remember. And she was like, did you get that done? I was like, nope, but we're looking into it because things have changed and, you know, this is where we're at. She's like, okay. And she kind of expressed why she wanted me to go get it done just to see
and honestly, I'll tell you, I forget to even look because our insurance changed. Yep. So now I have to get on there to see where you can even get them checked to have them covered by your insurance and X, Y, and Z. And
yep. So I'll get yelled at for that, and I should have an A1C report for next week.
I don't think it's going to be great, but I don't think it's going to be horrible.
I think it's going to be low 7s.
I was going to say 7.5.
I think 7.5 would be high.
All right, I think 7.5.
I'm thinking 7.3, 7.4.
I'm thinking 7.5.
But anyway, but it, you know, the thyroid number was up, elevated, and I, you know, do see that in my sugar numbers. So we'll see.
Right.
But
I think we're done tonight, babe. I'm sorry, I'm fading on you.
Yeah, we kind of had no topic and just rambled, but it's been interesting to kind of think about how the depression changed, how the anxiety changed in me. Mm-hmm. And you notice it being around me. So that was just an interesting observation. So I don't know, for anybody out there, it does get better. It does change. So, all right, well, we'll get out of here, and well, every day may not be a good day, but you can be the good in every day.
See, there you go. You messed it up again.
Well, I changed it.
You did change it.
I changed it.
I know you changed it, but you didn't change it smoothly.
No, because you looked at me.
I'll shut my eyes next time.
Yeah, you looked at me.
It's because you're so handsome.
All right, everybody. Well, have a great week, and you know, be kind. You know, you see somebody when you go to the grocery store and you see somebody emptying their cart, ask them if you can take their cart in for them. You'd be surprised how excited somebody gets about something simple like that. Mm-hmm. Ran into a lady the other day. She'd walked in. There was no carts inside, so she had to walk all the way back out.
Oh, man.
Well, I had walked up and got one out of the little corral so I could kind of hand pick a good one. And then I was walking in. So she had walked in and she passed me walking out to get a cart where she could have grabbed one.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, y'all have a great week and be that good today. Because you never know what somebody else is going through. And that little act of kindness could be a big difference in their day.
Bye.
Bye.